Hello everyone and welcome to today's session of informatics practices. In our today's session, we will move ahead from where we have left in the previous one. So in the last session, we discussed about how are we supposed to download and install Python, both the IDLE, that is from the Python website, as well as Anaconda. Okay. In today's class, we will be moving ahead of it and we will discuss about the basic concepts that we have already went through in class 11. We'll just touch up upon the important topics. We'll not go through them in detail, but yes, if there are any problems that you are facing with these topics, when you revisit them in your class 11 notebooks, are welcome to please ping me on my mail ID or on my cell phones during through WhatsApp during the school hours. Okay, so let us start with our today's class. I hope you would have installed Python as well as the necessary modules have been downloaded, such as NumPy and Pandas must have been installed using the pip command. So in our today's class, the first topic that we are going to cover is data types. So data types that we need to study are basically divided in three parts: numbers, sequences, and mappings. So for example, whenever we are studying about numbers, so numbers will have three data types in them, with, in which integer will be sub divided or will be having another data type named as boolean as its sum type. So these data types will help us segregate the type of data that is kept or that is stored within a particular variable. Okay. Data types in numbers are of three types: integers, the ones which do not have any decimal point notations; floating point numbers, the numbers with decimal point notations; and complex numbers, which are there with the both real and imaginary part. Then we have sequences. So sequences will have strings, lists, and tuples. Sequences are generally defined as ordered values. So why are we saying that this is ordered? Because everything that is kept over here, everything is kept in an ordered manner in terms of sequences. So what do we mean when we say in an ordered manner? So let us just take an example. So suppose, yes, let us just assume that we have a list with these values: 1, 2, 3, and then I wish to assess the digit at the first position. So as you may be remembering that every data type, be it a list, be it a string, be it tuple, in which orderings are there. So over there, the value of positions will start from 0. So the first element we will say will be at 0th position. Over here, the first element is 1, but we need to access the element at position value 1 and not the first element, which is over, or you may say that we need to access the element which has placed at the position value 1. So what we need to do is print a of 1. When we run it, we will have our answer as 2. As simple as that. No problems. Remember, as you were told in class 11, whenever you are saving a program, save it with the extension of .py. So as we move ahead, so suppose if we would have done it for a of 0, so this would have given me 1 as the answer. See, the output over here has changed. So what is suggest is that by the word order, we mean that everything that has been placed within either strings or list or tuples will remain in that particular order or sequence. Mappings. So mappings are nothing but key value pairs, and which are established through dictionaries in case of Python. So in case of mappings, there will be a key and there will be a value that will be associated with the key. So dictionaries are the very common way through which you establish mappings in case of Python. Moving on to the concept of operators. So we have 7 categories of operator. We will only go through arithmetic operators today. So for arithmetic operators, we have a precedence level. So there are 3 levels of precedence. The first level has only the exponent operator. The second level has the asterisk symbol, that is the multiplication operator, the division symbol, the floor division symbol, and the modulus symbol. I hope you guys remember all these concepts. If not, it just takes a moment. Take any 2 random numbers, go to the Python shell, fire a few commands, and you will have the output for yourself, and you will very easily understand what these operators do. Most of them are doing the concepts or following the very same theories as their name suggests. Plus and minus have the least precedence of all the arithmetic operators. So for an example, suppose we take these numbers, 15 plus 2 into 4 divided by 2 plus 1. So this is our number. So how are we supposed to process it? How does the Python processor processes it? So when it goes to Python processor, it will move from left to right, but it will first check what all operators are involved. So why is this check done? To ensure that all the operators with the highest precedence are processed first. So over here, what all operators are there? There is a plus operator, there is a multiplication operator and division operator and plus again. So there are operators of 2 different precedences. Plus and division, plus is of 1 precedence level, and at a higher precedence level we have multiplication and division. When we have multiple operators of same precedence present over there in an expression, then we will move from left to right. So how will it be processed? It will be processed like this. In step 1, it will look something like this after processing. Although you guys are fast enough and you will not have to do it in a step-by-step manner, because you guys have been doing mathematics for quite a period of time. So 15 plus 8 divided by 2 will be 4 plus 1, and you will have your answer as 19. So I hope this is the answer. 4 into 2 gives 8. 8 divided by 2 is again 4, and then we have again, when we add this up or when we sum it up, it gives us 19. Simple, straightforward, nothing to think about. The second question is a bit tricky one. How will it be processed? When we are coming to the processing of such long questions, be very careful about what all precedence of operators are there. So over here you may see that minus is there, division, multiplication, exponent, floor division, plus and modulus. So there are many operators, or you may say that there are 3 levels of precedence for arithmetic operators. All the 3 of them are present over here. So the highest of all precedences is exponent. So we will first process with the exponent portion, and we'll replace this value with the 2 raised to the power 3 is 8. So we'll replace this by 8. In the next step, we are having multiplication, division, multiplication, floor division. And you may take this as one expression that will be evaluated because it is preceded by a minus symbol and it is preceded by or appended by a plus symbol. So this will be evaluated at once, and this will be evaluated in a different manner. So over here, what will happen is you are first supposed to evaluate this and not 3 multiplied by 8. The reason for this will be that this is when we have multiple operators of same precedence, we will move from left to right. So 21 by 3 will give you 7, and you may then move down. Just remember that we are doing it only for the sake of you people understanding this, so that you guys do not have any problem in understanding this problem, or it is not required in terms of answering. When it is required for answering, you are just supposed to give direct answers, or you may show them a step or two if you really wish, but it is not at all required. Now in the next step, we have already processed this as 56. 56 when made to be floor division by 5, you will get 11 point something. Because it is a floor division, you will just take 11. You will now process this, and this will give you 5, because modulus operator always gives you remainder values. On processing this, you will have 17 plus 5 will give you 22, minus 11 is 11. So this will be the answer. I hope you guys can figure these out very easily. The next question is about the complex numbers. So because arithmetic operations can be done on all types of numeric values, so it can also be done on complex numbers. So the answer for this one, add the real part and add the imaginary part. As simple as that. So the answer for this will be 30 plus 55j. Simple, straightforward. Next question, we have 15 plus 50j by 5. So this is a bit tricky in the sense that students feel that when we are talking about complex number, they are one single value. So it is not necessary that a complex number will necessarily have a real part and an imaginary part. Though they have both the parts, and you may say that if a real part is missing, so it will be 0 plus the imaginary part. But over here, when it comes to division, it is only dividing the imaginary part. It is not doing the division operation on the real part. So the answer for this will be 15 plus 10j. Now there is another question which say something like this. So let me take this as a high order theoretical question. The reason is that students generally ignore this j symbol. Now when you have 15 plus 50j, now we have this division operator on a combination of this number on, or you may say that the entire complex number will be divided by 5j. So if you write this in terms of 15 by 5j plus 50j by 5j, this is how we used to write when in our, or you may say in our childhood, this is how we used to write things. Now when you divide this by 15 by 5j, what will be left? 3 upon j plus j to j will be cancelled, and 50 by 5 will give you 10. Now multiplying both numerator and denominator by j. Why did we did this? Because we did not want our j to be left at the denominator portion. Okay, or you may say, to simplify my denominator, I multiplied both the numerator and the denominator by j. I can do this because j to j will cancel again. This is the very same thing. But what has this operation done for me is this operation has now brought in the fact that 3 into j will give you 3j, no problems with it. But when you multiply this becomes j square, or you may say, as you have studied in imaginary numbers, I square. So the value of I square is -1, because iota, or as we said, imaginary numbers came to the concept because I was supposed to be under root -1, because we were not able to solve under root -1. So we came up with the concept of imaginary number, that such will be an imaginary number will be something like this, under root -1. So when we do a square of under root -1, we will have just -1 left, and when it will now be divided by -1 plus 10. See, these concepts are something that you must have studied in class 8 or 9 somewhere, I hope, or 10th. I may be wrong with my numbers. So this will finally give you -3j plus 10. Okay. I hope this explanation is satisfactory. If there are any problems, you can always ping me on my phone. We'll study the rest of the operators in our next class. For now, we are ending the session over here only. If there are any problems with this, please make sure you are practicing new things for yourself. And if there are any problems, please ping me on my email ID or on my WhatsApp number. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a very nice day.